everybody, welcome to Mara Makes. Can you guess what we're going to be making today? With these and with this banana bread. But not just any banana bread. We're going to take these supremely ripe and juicy and delicious and perfectly rotten bananas that normally you would be like, oh, throw them away. No, don't throw them away. We're going to be adapting one of my all-time favorite food bloggers, Deb Perlman's Smitten Kitchen's recipe for jacked up banana bread, except we're going to jack it up even more. We're going to throw in chocolate chips, we're going to throw in pecans, and we're going to mess with the flour mixture and add in some almond meal and really make it crazy. Are you ready? I am. Let's go. First and foremost, let's set our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit so it can warm up while we're mixing it all together. Boom. You want the rack on the middle rack. The thing I love about this recipe is that it's all made in one bowl. It is so simple. You just mix everything into one bowl. You mix it by hand. Let's go over our ingredients and then we'll get baking. Here we have our bananas. Honestly, these look super gross, right? They're perfect. Absolutely perfect for making something like banana bread. Ones that you think you might need to throw away, as long as there's no mold, you're good to go. Probably don't want to eat anything that has mold on it. Do not throw them away. Use them. Next, we have some salted melted butter, 1/3 cup, 75 grams. We have 3/4 cup light brown sugar. We have 1 egg. I will say briefly, I love Vital Farms. They have pasture-raised eggs, and they also have organic pasture-raised eggs, which I really like. They're what they call ethical eggs. You can even go visit their chickens, I think, at some of the farms. Anyways, I really like supporting them if I can. I think it's a great company. This is not an ad. That's my personal opinion. Next, we have our pure vanilla extract. You really want to go with vanilla extract, not vanilla flavoring. I know this is a little pricier, but it's worth the flavor. Go with extract if you can. Ooh, for the fun part, we've got Maker's Mark bourbon. Our family tends to love Maker's Mark. We're from Kentucky, and so you got to go Maker's. Next, we have our spices. We have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, a pinch of ground cloves, a pinch of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda obviously isn't a spice, but we've gone ahead and added it in and mixed it all up so it's ready to go. Next, we have our flours. So this is where I've kind of diverged from Smitten Kitchen's recipe. We have 1/2 cup of almond meal, which is ground almonds. It's like basically almond flour, and it's at the bottom, so you can't see it actually. It's gonna get whisked up and blended when we mix it all together. But we have 1/2 cup of almond meal, and then 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I wanted to add the almond meal because I think it'll give a nice nuttiness, sweetness, and kind of moist texture, especially with quick breads like banana bread. It just gives a really luscious texture. Next, we have some dark chocolate chunks. When I'm baking, I really like to bake with chunks and not chips. That's my personal preference. I just like the way that they melt in baked goods. And then we have roughly chopped pecans. I barely chopped them, again, roughly. A few chops at each angle and you're done. You want pretty big chunks in this recipe. That's everything. Let's get baking. First, we're gonna start with our ripe bananas. I already have 1 in there. Let's throw in the other 3. Again, they're kind of gross when you peel them because they're so rotten, but they're gonna be sweet and delicious. All right, so I have my bananas in there. And now I'm gonna mash them. Again, see, look how easily they're mashing because they're already so soft. That's exactly what we want. So you wanna mix until they're basically a thick batter is what you're going for. You can leave some chunks in, but try to really get it to the point where it's almost like cake batter, kind of. That's good for now. It's gonna get stirred up some more. Next, we add our 75 grams of melted butter. Just pour that in. Look at that, really nice. And now, we're gonna move from our masher to our spoon. We're done with the masher now. You can say goodbye, give it a hug and a kiss, thank it for its hard work, and be on to our wooden spoon. All right, again, I love this recipe because this is all we're gonna need aside from our pan that we bake it in. And again, remember that you've set your oven so it started to preheat because you're gonna see this is gonna go really quickly. All right, so I'm mixing in my melted butter into the mashed bananas. There we go, beautiful. See, it kind of thickens it a little bit. Could be my imagination, but yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Now we're gonna add our 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. All right, I'm just gonna pour that in there. Again, super easy. Take my spoon and really just mix it up. With recipes like these, again, there's not that much technique. The only thing I will say is scrape down the sides. Oh, that's our oven saying it's ready. Awesome. Just want to make sure you get your brown sugar dissolved, not have any chunks. All right, next we're going to add 1 beaten egg. So I'm going to crack my egg. There we go. And I've got this little adorable whisk that I'm obsessed with. And I'm just going to whisk my egg a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, pour it into the batter. I always personally wash my hands after touching raw egg just to be safe. All right, here we go, mixing in the egg. Next, we're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of our vanilla and 1 tablespoon of our bourbon. So we have 1 teaspoon of our vanilla. 1 tablespoon of our Maker's Mark. Whoop, a little extra, that's okay. Beautiful, look how thick it is. This looks amazing. I could drink this batter almost. Don't do it, it's got raw egg, but it should look like you could stick your face in it. All right, now I'm gonna add my baking soda and spices. They've already been whisked in this little bowl or cup, so I don't really need to worry about them getting mixed in. All right, next we have our flour. Again, this is 1 cup of all-purpose flour in here and 1/2 cup of almond meal, which is ground almond flour. So we're gonna pour that in. See, there's the, on top, you have the ground almond meal. See, it's that kind of more yellow color. All right, we're gonna mix that in. Now, we don't want to overmix this, but we do want to incorporate everything. So make sure you're scraping down the sides and then folding it in. With my cake batters, I like to fold things in as opposed to stirring. So see how I'm scooping underneath? It's almost like an oar, right? I'm scooping, folding it over itself. And then every once in a while, I'll scrape the sides. So scrape the sides, scoop and fold, scoop and fold, scoop and fold, scrape the sides. This way you make sure you're not over mixing your batter, not gonna make it too tough. You don't want a tough batter. All right, now for the fun part, our pecans and chocolate chips. Look at these guys. All right, we're gonna start pouring our pecans. Woo, baby. Now our chocolate chips. Look at that. Let's just admire how chocolate chips and pecans were meant to be together. All right, here we go. I'm gonna fold them in. Again, you can do this in like 3 folds. There we go. Boom. Done. I'm going to put this aside for a second. As you heard, our oven is ready. We're going to make this today in what you call Bundt Pan. You can use this, or you can just use a standard 4x8 loaf pan, which is what I usually do, but I made a coffee cake in this and now I'm obsessed with it, so I want to try using it again for this. Then you're going to just take a little bit of butter and you're just going to butter the inside. I like my butter being room temperature because then it really kind of is easy to spread around. So I'm going to use my hands, which are clean. Make sure you wash your hands, obviously. And use my fingers. You do not need to flour this as long as you butter it. You do not need to also flour it. So a Bundt pan is a little awkward to butter. It's got all these crevices, but it's worth it. So take the 90 seconds it takes to butter your pan. All right, now I've rinsed off my hands because they were greasy. Now I'm going to take our batter and I'm going to pour it in to the Bundt pan. I'm going to try to circle it as I go. Although it's not super necessary, I just realized because I can stir it with a spoon. All right, so I'm taking my batter, which smells like delicious bananas. Okay. I'm going to spread this around so it's even in my pan. So spread it around. It's even in my pan. All right. So the original recipe from Deb Perlman says 50 minutes. Because I'm using a Bundt pan and I'm not quite sure how it's going to cook, if it speeds up the time or not, I'm going to automatically say 45 minutes. And I'm actually going to check it at 40 minutes in. All right, set the timer for 40 minutes.
40 minutes, starting now.
All right, let's see how this baby looks in 40 minutes. We're gonna check on this. It's been just about 40 minutes. It's the perfect color. It smells incredible. I'm gonna take a little stick and see if it comes out clean. Yeah, we're still a little moist. I think I'm gonna put it in for another 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes still brings us to 45 minutes, which is what I was aiming for originally. I always do like to under bake my cakes a little bit. I'd rather have them be on the moist side than on the dry side because they're gonna keep baking when you take them out in the pan. Let's check it in just a bit. All right. Oh my God, this smells phenomenal. This bad boy out and it's really hot. I'm gonna stick my tester in. Yeah, that seems a lot better to me. So I'm just sticking in to see if I'm getting crumbs. All right, here is our banana bread. The color is absolutely perfect. This kind of caramely brown is just what we want. I'm gonna stick it in, pull it out. Here's the thing, it's not super dry, but it's also chock full of banana. So I'm tempted to say it's done. Part of me wants to put it in for 1 more minute, but then the other part of me knows it's done. All right, I'm gonna put it in for 1 more minute. My recipe also uses almond meal, so it's gonna be, and the whole point of using that almond meal is it lends a really moist crumb. It's a lot richer, and I think that's part of what the little toothpick is picking up on, is the moistness of the almond meal crumbs. But just to be safe, we'll do the full 50 minutes. All right, I'm gonna turn off the oven now so I don't forget to later. Pull this bad boy out. This guy's definitely done as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely divine. We're gonna actually have it cool on this metal rack. This is the life of a baker. Oh my God, did I undercook it? And I'm gonna kill everyone. Oh my God, did I overcook it? And I'm gonna kill everyone because it's dry. Literally the death of me would be a dried out cake. Right? I'll be back with you in about 10-15 minutes when it's cooled. We'll flip it over and let it finish cooling on the rack. Okay, so you're gonna take your rack that you're using with the little feet facing up. So you basically put it upside down onto your pan, whether it's a loaf or a Bundt pan. And then you're basically just gonna flip it. Obviously, like I said, let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes in the pan. Because if I were to flip this as soon as it came out of the oven, it still would have been really hot and it could have just totally fallen apart on me. So put one hand on the bottom, one hand on the rack, flip it, woo! And now I'm going to slide the loaf off, moment of truth. Woo! Our banana bread, our Bourbon Pecan chocolate chip banana bread. Here we have our finished Bourbon Pecan chocolate chip banana bread. It's still a little warm, but as you can see, a mouse got to the first piece, AKA my husband. Oh, it's still nice and warm. Look at the caramel color, light brown on the inside, beautiful color on the outside. This is a perfect, decadent, dessert-like piece of banana bread. But it has bananas, so like, you know, you can eat it for breakfast. I'm really excited to try this. Pull off a little piece. Ooh, look at that chunk of banana in there. And the almond meal that we put in gives this really moist texture. It's almost, it's more cake than bread. Chocolate's amazing. Look at that. Oh. This is delicious. All this needs is some milk. This combo made in heaven. Yes. Yes. That's all I have to say about that. Bottoms up. Thank you so much for watching. This was Bourbon Pecan chocolate chip banana bread. Ingredients are listed in the description below. If you've had fun, like, subscribe, share. See you next time on Mara Makes. That's all.
Did you say that's all, folks? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you just say that's all, folks?
I did.
Did you just go Bugs Bunny on us? Okay.
All right. Ready? Set. Okay. Thank you for watching.